Episode 6. Pushing Through the Limits. The alarm clock buzzed at 5:30 a.m., cutting through the silence of Mathew's room. He groaned, turning over in bed, his body aching from the previous day's workout. Every muscle in his body screamed for rest, but he knew Fred would be waiting. Dragging himself out of bed, Mathew stared at his reflection in the mirror. He wasn't there yet, but he could see it. Small changes, hints of definition in his arms, the weight he'd put on, filling him out slightly. Still, his mind wasn't fully convinced. Am I really changing, or am I just fooling myself? By the time he reached the gym, the exhaustion still clung to him, but Fred was already there, stretching, looking as focused as ever. "You ready?" Fred asked with a grin. Mathew nodded, though he wasn't sure. They started training, and the first few sets were brutal. The weights felt heavier than usual, and his body resisted every movement. But something changed halfway through. Fred noticed it. Mathew wasn't just lifting anymore. He was pushing through, his form tightening, his determination more visible. Fred placed a firm hand on Mathew's shoulder after a particularly tough set. "You feel that? That's progress, not just in your body, but up here." He tapped Mathew's temple. "Your mind is catching up. Keep showing up, and you'll be surprised how far you'll go." Mathew exhaled, his breath shaky but steady. For the first time, he believed it. He was stronger than he thought. The weekend came, bringing its own challenges. His friends invited him out for drinks and fast food. It was tempting. He wanted to relax, to feel normal. But as he stared at the invite on his phone, Fred's words echoed in his head. Discipline isn't about saying no to fun. It's about saying yes to what you truly want. So he made a choice. He still went out, but he stuck to his plan. He ordered a healthier option, drank water instead of beer. At first, his friends teased him, but eventually they shrugged it off. The night ended, and Mathew felt something new, a sense of control. He wasn't just going through the motions anymore. He was choosing who he wanted to be. Later that night, Mathew sat in his room, his notebook open. He flipped to a fresh page and wrote, "Today, I realized that change isn't one big moment. It's the small choices I make every day. I didn't let my doubt stop me. I didn't let temptation throw me off track. And for the first time, I feel like I'm really becoming the person I want to be." As he put down his pen, he felt lighter. The journey was far from over, but he was no longer afraid of the process. The screen faded to black as the narrator's voice spoke. And so, Mathew's transformation continued, not just in body, but in mind. Little did he know, the true tests were still ahead.